Hey, what's going on? Coming at you from Chicago, Illinois. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing another YouTube video. And it's in the subject of homosexuality, the topic of homosexuality. I've already made a YouTube video about um, my own sexuality. I don't want to get into that in this video. I want this video to be more general. That video was my experience, and I just want this to be have a more broader open audience. So the video that I'm going to be discussing is a video I found on YouTube, and it's called Thinking Biblically About Homosexuality. It's an older video. It was posted it says 5 years ago, and it's from a YouTube channel called Grace to You. And then in the About section, in the description of this channel, it says, Grace to You is the media ministry of John MacArthur, pastor, teacher of Grace Community Church in Sun Valley, California, as well as an author, conference speaker, chancellor of the Masters University and Seminary, and featured teacher with the Grace to You Media Ministry. Grace to You's radio, video, audio, print, and website resources reach millions worldwide each day. So, this John MacArthur seems like he's got a lot going on. It appears to be doing a lot of God's work. So, I think that's awesome that he's putting himself out there and trying to reach out to people and to help people, help save people. So more power to him. So in the beginning of this YouTube video, John MacArthur he talks about how homosexuals, they can be redeemed and saved. And then a little bit later, he talks about a personal experience he had where a man by the name of David Chastain, he called John the minister, over the phone and asked if he could come see him in the hospital. David told John that he was dying of AIDS and that he did not want to go to hell. And David asked John the minister if he could help him. And John said, yes, of course I can. So John went to the hospital. He stood by this man's hospital bed. And John said, I asked God to be gracious to him and to save him, while David clutched John's hand, after which John said, if you desire to pray, this is your opportunity to ask for forgiveness. And David did, and he prayed one of the most heart-wrenching prayers that John has ever heard in his life, pleading with God to forgive him for the wretched life that he had lived in defiance of what he had been raised to know is true. After David finished praying, he was overwhelmed with a sense of joy. And John recalls that after a few days of praying with him and praying for him, David was gone. So I just want to get back to something that I had just previously said. It said, pleading with God to forgive him for the wretched life that he had lived in defiance of what he had been raised to know is true. And I think that is true for, I don't want to say a lot of homosexuals, but there are homosexuals that live that lifestyle, and they know deep down in their heart that it's what they're doing is wrong, even if they don't have any religious beliefs or very little religious knowledge. I think for younger homosexuals, it's I think it's easier for them to self-delude themselves into thinking that that's lifestyle is somehow acceptable. But after going through a few experiences of one night stands and just dealing with all the shenanigans that comes with living that kind of lifestyle. In addition, with life experience, they come to realize that it's just a wrong lifestyle. It's a wrong way to live, and I think it's not only just homosexuality, but I think it's alcoholism. People that possibly do drugs. People who are doing gaming addiction, or maybe even like Netflix binges, and like spending a lot of time on social media. And I understand you can't compare, doing Netflix binges to the sin of homosexuality. I get that, but if you do a Netflix binge once in a blue moon, um, you know, I can understand that. But when you're doing these Netflix binges and you're spending all this time on social media at the expense of maybe spending time with family or just self improvement, there's a consequence for spending all that time doing those things when there needs to be a balance. And when you're doing these things, when you're deep down when you're in the wrong. And the more we get entrenched in these addictions, I think the harder it is to get out of them. But luckily for this David guy, he came to his senses right before his end, and he reached out to John, the pastor, and it appears, hopefully, that his soul, it was saved right before, again, his last days. So that was the YouTube video. I'm gonna jump right here to this book, as it was sometimes I have trouble speaking. As it was in the Days of Noah by Jeff Kinley, and I'm going to be reading from a chapter called 50 Shades of Immorality. And I know that reading the Bible, it can be overwhelming because it's so much information. It's such a big book. It can be overwhelming. So I don't think it's necessary as a Christian, to just read the Bible. There's other alternatives, such as this book. I mean, as you can see, it's not even that big. That can start you on your path to a relationship with your Creator, if you don't already have a relationship with Him. So I'm gonna just read a portion of this paragraph, again from the chapter 50 Shades of Immorality. And it says, specifically, homosexual relationships attempt to mimic God's original design for humanity. Sexually, they imitate creation's male-female model, substituting biblical intimacy with a counterfeit experience. And then I'm going to jump a few paragraphs, and then in the final paragraph of this chapter, right in the middle to the end, it says, for a planet intoxicated with its own sexual pursuits and perversions, it is a sure sign we're closer now to judgment than ever before. So what can I take away from this information? It definitely makes sense to do things the way our Creator intended for us to do it. We can be, I know I can be very thick-headed. A lot of us can be very thick-headed. I think it's both. I think we have to go through the pain, the struggle, the life lessons, but also in addition to that, to learn to realize that we cannot do things on our own, that we need help. We need a higher power help. And as I saw in it was another YouTube video, this young man was telling the viewer about his addiction, like he had a relapse, and he was just saying it's a battle. It really is a battle with temptations, struggles, difficulties, hurts, upsets, ups, downs. That's why it's just so important to have that foundation with our Creator. That foundation with somebody who truly cares for us and truly wants the very best for us. So that was today's video. If you guys enjoy this content, it would mean so much to me if you follow me, if you support me. The awesome thing about YouTube is that you guys can take this journey with me, and I can take it with you guys as well. Hopefully that you guys can learn from me, and then I can also hopefully learn from you guys. If you guys post comments, just again the support, we can grow and take the journey together. So that was today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.